Over the years, we've heard a lot about Look Outside Your Window. Recorded by members of Slipknot while they simultaneously recorded their 2008 album, All Hope Is Gone. And since that time, that record has sat on the shelf collecting dust. But in recent months, Clown alluded to this album releasing this year, saying there's a strong possibility it could come out, though we've heard this a couple of times before. For Slipknot vocalist Corey Taylor, he says he actually hopes the album never comes out. He says there was a lot of struggle that went into how this album even came to be, and he also says that he feels that expectations have quite frankly gotten unrealistic for the release. He spoke of this in a new conversation with NME. Corey described the album as having much more of a Radiohead vibe, but said if it was up to him, the album wouldn't come out. He says so much time has gone by since the album was recorded, and he doesn't feel as though it could live up to expectations. He says, "Look Outside Your Window is Clown's baby. Slipknot is Clown's baby. I punch a clock and then I punch out. It's so funny. Every year or two I get an email about Look Outside Your Window and how it's coming out. I'm just as stoked as everybody else because, dude, I don't even have a copy. I have a version from 10 years ago that I don't even think is the same mix they're dealing with. I don't even fucking know the songs are going on this album. That's how out of the loop I am. I was a guest star on that album anyway, so your guess is as good as mine. It's so fascinating that something that started as a demo has become the holy grail. If you only knew how that album came about and the pain it caused, I hope people dig it, but I honestly hope it never gets released because there are so many expectations about it now. It's like that Wu-Tang Clan album that What the Fuck has a copy of it, referring to Martin Shkreli. It's almost better to just wonder." Taylor also spoke about the album in an interview on SiriusXM's Trunk Nation back in 2019. He said, "It's experimental, but it's super vibey, super melodic. It's really good, it's hard to explain. There's something about the songs. They're very solemn, very energetic, very artistic. For people who are used to a certain way of Slipknot sounding, this doesn't sound anything like that." He said, "I think there's a large percentage of the fans who will actually really dig it. Obviously, the people who are into the heavier stuff probably won't get it at first. They might dig it later. It's always about the right time with Clown. Once you spend more time with Clown, you realize that the wizard is always trying to figure out the right time for everything, and I respect him for that, man. That's the artist in him. Honestly, he's been our secret weapon since day one. The reason that everything sounds as interesting as it does, looks as cool, all of the artwork is all because of him, and I don't think anybody in the band really gives him enough credit. So I'm going to do my very best to make sure that he gets all that credit. For him, this Look Outside Your Window album was really his baby. He spent a lot of time on it, and he put a lot of emotion into that album, and it'll be really cool to see people finally get to hear it." So listen, Corey's going to tell you what he thinks, and he's going to keep it real. When he's pumped about something, he's going to let you know. And in this instance, he's kind of saying, look, don't get your hopes up too hard right now because this is very different than what Slipknot sounds like. It's an experimental record. And also talking about Corey Taylor, I want to draw some attention to the Taylor Foundation. He's just announced the Claire Awards, a competitive grant opportunity to financially support innovative nonprofits helping veterans, emergency personnel, and first responders living with PTSD. Here's what Corey had to say.
Hey everybody, Corey Taylor here from the Taylor Foundation. Very excited to announce the very first Claire Awards. That's right, it's a competitive grant opportunity named after my grandfather, Claire Taylor, and this is the whole reason that I started the Taylor Foundation in the first place, and we are going to do our very best to help you. This is a competitive grant opportunity for qualified nonprofits who are helping those who deal with PTSD, whether it be veterans, law enforcement, first responders, and their families. So we are looking to get everyone as much help as we can.
You can learn more about Corey's efforts with the Taylor Foundation at the link in the description. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. If you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn notifications on so you don't miss the latest news and updates about your favorite bands.